Hi, this is the fifth episode of the brand new podcast for cam girls called Shit Guys Say to Cam Girls. This is Taja Ethereal. This is sponsored by Boleyn Models, and we are talking to you, content creator, Peaches Galore, Cam Girl Extreme, a founder of the wonderful new brand called BBWHeathens. Go on and
Hi.
say hello to everyone.
Hey,
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm happy to talk to you because I've been perving y'all for a minute. I think you may have featured me on your Twitter timeline. You guys are mostly on Twitter, right? Are you? Where else are you at?
We also do Snapchat takeover, or models do Snapchat takeovers on our account.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'm not on Snapchat to be
Okay.
to be honest, but I don't know. I'm always fascinated when people can make it work. It's just, whatever. Sorry, I'm trying not to choke right now. But yeah, so you guys have a like, do you? How often do you do your Snapchat takeovers?
Um, I mean, they're every day. When a model books, they book for a 24-hour takeover.
Gee.
Yeah, so they can do anything from, showing, what they go through on a daily basis. They can do games, contests, whatever they choose, as long as it's
It's
not
not
new.
nudity,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, yeah, because none of these platforms, these social media platforms, Twitter actually is like the last standing, even though they get finicky, but like none of them seem to really want us around. How many followers do you have on BBW Heathens?
on Twitter, I want to say it's about. Last time I
No, no,
checked, I
no,
think.
no, no, on Snapchat,
Oh, on
Snapchat.
Snapchat. Uh, it's hard to say now that the Snapchat did the new layout.
Oh
It's
shit, yeah.
uh, but before we were getting thousands of views. So
Yeah, like yeah, I was talking to other people in the industry, and they were the new Snapchat update has been a fucking a pain in the ass for that.
yeah,
So yeah, but right now we're all like in limbo. Everyone is like panicking a little bit. So again, like I'm Taja Ethereal. Some of you guys who've been watching the listening to the podcast are familiar with me already, and if you're not, this is Miss Peaches Galore, a Southern Belle. If you
yeah,
didn't know what a name would like Peaches,
yeah.
and then a brand name like BBW Heathens, like I don't know what it is, but the word heathens just makes me think of like an old black lady in church. What is it like Sanford and Son when like Esther was like, "You old heathen"?
uh,
Do you know what I'm talking about? Or you
I do, I do.
okay? That just comes to my mind right away. I was like, that they gotta be from the South. I mean, it could be somewhere else, but they gotta be from the fucking South. But yeah. So yeah, peaches, and I was telling you, like, peaches is one of my favorite Southern terms of endearment. And then there's pudding and darling. I love darling. So yeah. So when I saw you on, that's why I like was like, oh, I wanna talk to her. I want to interview her, and I want to, because if you were wondering like why she just hit me up, you know what I'm saying? But I saw what y'all were doing with the BBW Heathens, and was like, I wanted to learn more about that. So
Yeah,
yeah, so when I went through your timeline on Twitter, I noticed that you had OnlyFans, but that
I
we
do.
we previously talked. We just talked in a little while ago, that you also seem to primarily your home is ManiVids.
Correct.
Yeah. So, how do you like working on ManiVids, if you don't mind me asking?
I like it. Um I like that they do contests. I mean, even though it's very rare that a BBW will win or even get top 10 maybe,
Really? Is
but
it?
Yeah, it's really rare that I've seen,
Mm-hmm.
but even if that's the case, we still get a lot of new followers from that. So even if we're not winning, we're still getting new viewers and new potential customers.
So
So
y'all don't like the BBWs? Are you talking about the monthly contest?
yeah, or the monthly, even the ones that are just on Wednesdays.
Oh, this Wednesday contest,
Yeah, yeah, I
girl.
rarely see one that's top 10. Rarely.
Well, no. Whenever I log in, because I'm not actually, I do a lot. I create a lot of content as well. But what I have started to notice, I do better with clips for sale,
Okay.
and with my own personal site, and then third in line will be I want clips. But when I go on ManyVids, the top 10, there's always the top 10 searches is BBW.
Right. The search is like number 3. But when you actually go to the contest page and you see who's participating in the contests, when the contest is going on, there's rarely anybody in the top 10. And, that's the reason why we started BBW Heathens, is because we want to eventually make our own site that's kind of like ManyVids, but strictly for the BBWs and the SSBBWs. Just because it's kind of hard to always see the smaller girls. No offense, but the smaller girls are always.
Don't expect it to always say, like, I'm trying to make a point, but I have to say, no offense.
Yeah, but
It kind of sucks to have to say that. But I know what you're saying. So, but how does that, how is it that the search, I'm trying to wrap my head around this. So the
right,
search shows that BBWs are almost always in the top 10. So when it comes to the contest, why doesn't the contest reflect that? I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
So that's that like a mystery? Is there something going on there that I'm not understanding?
I don't know. I don't. I
You
don't know.
understand what I'm getting at, right? Like
Yeah, you.
when you see it, like is it rigged? Are you saying like is it what's that data coming from? Because it says it'll have Asian, pregnant, BBC, some other random stuff. Sometimes it's shocking. I'm like, whoa, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
But BBW is almost always right there. So if you're
Yep.
saying it in the actual contest that it's not there, I'm trying to figure out why not.
Right.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So you don't know either, huh?
I don't.
We will have to investigate because I talk to a lot of other people who are on Manivids. They love the site and they have flourished. Have actually I talked to people who actually have won contests, but they aren't curvy. They are curvy. Never mind. They're thick, curvy, but they
Hmm.
aren't BBWs or supersized BBWs and stuff like that. So
Right.
I mean, because I remember initially when they started out, Manivids, people thought it was just going to be like a site for slender chicks and stuff, and then
Hmm.
it evolved into something else. I'm just asking, like, has it really evolved? That's all I'm wondering.
Right.
So we'll have to see. The verdict is still out. I'll have to
Yeah.
investigate a little bit more to try to find out why is it that the top 10 searches say that, but then when people are winning the awards, oof, did we just like step into like the deep into in the pool without a fucking
Oh.
raft?
Oh goodness.
Did I just like jump in? Like, what did I just do? I don't know. But anyway, so I see you out there. I see you guys on a couple of my Twitter timelines on for BBW Heathens.
Hmm.
And you guys have takeovers, like you said, for Snapchat, and then you tweet out other, big, juicy, seductive women,
Yes.
and you guys try to highlight them as much as
Correct.
possible. And so, what's the feedback that you're getting? Like, how often do you get people like contacting you guys?
I mean, on a daily basis, we have a handful of girls that are always participating every day. And I should say that every day when we are shouting these models out, we have a theme for the day. So
Oh, okay.
for March, it might be one set of, set of theme days, but April it'll be a different set.
Mm-hmm.
So we have several models who are participating every day, but also every day we're getting new people that are contacting us. So it's great.
Yeah. So, like, what's the theme going into April?
Uh, I'm trying to remember. I mean, we talked about it the other night, and I usually have it wrote down, but I
You
don't
know
today.
what? What was your theme for March? What did y'all do for March? March is
Um,
almost over, so.
yeah. So we had like Fat Ass Friday. We had um, what did we have? And then we have some days where when we're shouting them out, we might shout them out with their clip site or their Amazon wish list or
Uh huh.
stuff like that. So we've had a wish list Wednesday where we shout them out with their
Ooh, I
Amazon
like
wish
that.
list.
I like
Yeah,
that. Wish list Wednesday. I think you guys shouted
yeah.
me out. I don't remember the exact. It was like a Monday or something. But I
Mhm.
talked to somebody on your account. I don't remember the exact terminology. This hashtag, if you
Okay.
will, because like I monitor the Boleyn Models account and then a couple others, but like Bullet Models who like sponsors this podcast. I don't really
Hmm.
put like nudity or people stuff because I don't want to like get shadow banned. I don't want to get fucking sent out in oblivion.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's interesting to me, but I see you guys. So on one of my other accounts, I would definitely love to connect with you and other people as well to do that. So speaking of social media, and the frenzy and people talking about all that stuff. We are getting into this age of technology where people are basically flipping out, losing their minds. And like I said earlier, I noticed that you are on OnlyFans.
Yes.
I was on OnlyFans, but it just wasn't my particular site. I started deleting all of my content a while ago. And then now we find out that they have changed their terms of service. They aren't the only ones. There's Skype. Do you do Skype shows?
Uh, once in a blue moon.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, like you're primarily um, a content creator. You make clips and stuff like that. And then you told me that you just recently signed up for streaming. And then so you got your first start on all BBW cams.
Yes, that was like
Yeah.
10 years ago ish.
Yeah, that wasn't my first start, but like when I did, that was one of the sites I started on, and it was like wonk wonk wonk, and
Hmm.
I found out like for BBWs, anyone who's listening to this podcast, and you're wondering like how do I start out, and if I'm a big girl, a bigger girl, a curvy girl, whatever, yeah, there's money to be made, but you don't
Yeah.
have to exactly get on a niche site. You don't have to get on a site catered to you. You can get on other sites like Streamate and like build your empire around that. It takes work, necessarily, but there's BBW lovers on the major platforms like that and so forth. So a lot of the BBW sites have gone to the wayside right now.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, but another thing that is faltering is that everyone's going into the content. So, like, this is something I know you can relate to,
Right.
where you create content. Right now, we have the issue with FOSTA, which we're wondering right now, the sex trafficking bill that just got passed from the Senate, and we're waiting to see if our beloved, in quotation marks, president will
Mhm.
sign it, or will he just ignore it and then it could be like a pocket veto.
Right.
So, a lot of people are freaking out.
Yeah, I've seen that all on Twitter. Like every third tweet is something.
Yeah. Yeah. I do. I like. I'm on the forums but I'm also like probably on social media a lot more, and it's been interesting. People freaking out, a lot of misinformation, a lot of
Yeah.
people with hurt feelings, getting angry about certain things. I like quite some of the stuff. It's mind boggling. I'm not understanding where the anger is coming from, but people wagging fingers because you're trying to help. I don't quite understand that, but yeah, so it's all there. So let me ask you, so you're as a content creator, what sort of content do you like to create? What's your
Oh,
favorite?
my favorite is JOIs, or jerk off instructions. Yeah,
Ooh.
those are fun.
Okay, that's perfect because I talk to people who don't know what the fuck that is. So explain to people what JOI is.
Basically, you are describing, and well, for me, describing in a very sexy way how a man should jack his dick. And sometimes at the end, I'll give them kind of like a countdown. By one, you better be coming for me. So and I always get, those are my top selling ones, is always the JOIs.
So wait, what happens? Okay, so logistically speaking, because I'm a technical nerd, I'm an anal bitch. So like, if you give a person a countdown, because listen, I do phone sex, I do cam shows, and
Hmm.
I can do jerk off instructions like, yeah, stroke it, stroke it, stroke it. Focus on my tits. You can tell them all this stuff, but when they want the countdown, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Because and a lot of there's no one who's ever popped at the end of that countdown. So you never come at the end of the fucking countdown.
I, I think that's a good thing about doing it on a clip versus doing maybe webcam or something, because they get to keep the video. If they don't pop at the end, well, they can just rewind it a little bit, and
Okay.
you know.
Because I'm like, and guys be like, well, well, I'm just saying, like, I guess not just clips, but like live shows, they'll say that. And I'm like, should I be like, 10, stroke it. 9, ooh, you're almost there. 8, ooh, 8 3/4. Like you have to start slowing it down, and it feels dumb. But like, so okay, so you do mostly JOI, jerk
Hmm.
off instructions, and that's
Yeah.
just video. And you, well, never mind. You just say you didn't really do a lot of live shows. Like, um,
Right.
it's mystifying to me because I've talked to a lot of people who, as basic as it appears and it sounds, it's very confusing for a lot of us.
Well,
What do you do?
when I first heard the term, I'm like, I didn't know what it was either. So I went to the handy dandy porn website of choice, which, mine, Pornhub, XNXX, whatever, and you just search it. You look at videos, you learn from it. I mean, that's what I do anyway. If I don't understand, or if I don't really know how to do something or how I should approach it, I just look at other videos and kind of do my own thing.
Pornhub is your reference. A lot of
Yeah.
people are gonna hear this, and some people are gonna cringe because Pornhub is like the antithesis for a lot of people who are like, oh, this is why we don't make a lot of money. But those are the pornographers. They'll say that. But like new age people are probably gonna be like, yeah, cool, because
Yeah.
I love Pornhub and their insights because like I have affiliate sites and it helps me. But mostly I was just more concerned like the countdown. How do you make sure that a person pops
Right.
when like but you can't, like you said, in a video. So anyways, the point is like mute. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. So okay, we are other options. You said you're on Manivids. Are you trying the Manivids Crush at
I
all?
I am. And to be honest, I don't see the difference between that and their they already got a subscription service. So I don't really see the difference.
Which one is that? What do you mean?
All right, so I'm actually on ManyVids right now.
Yeah, yeah. Enlighten me,
They
please.
have the, like you said, the MV Crush.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go in your, oh crap, if you go in your, let me see if I can pull it up.
I know they have like something where you can set up multiple videos
Right.
to be sold and so forth. But there's something else about Envy Crush because this is in light of OnlyFans
Mm-hmm.
um, changing up. They changed basically what happened with OnlyFans. Back it up. They changed their merchant account. They went from a all-purpose merchant account, which supposedly accepted adult, to Dwala, Dwala, how you want to spell it's DWOLLA, which
Okay.
precisely says no adult content. So now they're walking it back, and then someone posted and blasted it all over the internet that, yeah, here's the official statement. And now, as of right now, Friday, 10:27 p.m., they're saying that that was a spoof. That
Yeah.
wasn't accurate. Did you see that?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
it's a spoof. I don't know what to believe. We'll see what happens, but they tend to be a messy company. OnlyFans, they have a reputation, but I know that it's so crazy because they've been on blast for like almost 2 years. Like everyone's been on there, so anyone who's confused and doesn't know if they're going to get eliminated in the future, another option could be ManyVids, the Envy Crush, and then there's the I Want Empire. They have the I Want Fan Club, which is very similar. So there are
Okay.
other options out there that actually have adult merchant accounts, so you don't have to like freak out and so forth. But
Mhm.
it's just so weird with OnlyFans because they also are the same people behind Delivery Code and fuck. I'm trying to blank. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But yeah, so what did you find what you were looking for
Yeah.
on
So they have the MV Crush, and then once you go as a model under your settings,
mm,
under my MV, you also have my membership. So, I mean, you have a membership and you have an MV Crush. It's a subscription type thing. It's the
what's the difference you're saying?
right. I mean,
I think MV Crush. I wrote a little tiny little snippet article about Envy Crush. What I'm not sure, and let me just wonder, is that Envy Crush is supposed to be more like snaps. I think the other one is supposed to be memberships where they allow longer memberships. So, which means that the videos are going to be longer because on Envy Crush, things are not allowed to be continuous. Like you can't put a 10-minute video on Envy Crush. It
right,
has to be like you have BBW Heathens on Snapchat. So you
right.
guys know how long it's very very similar to that structure. So I think the sign up for a membership is very different where you guys can do repeat billing, rebilling, that sort of thing. I don't know. I have to see, but
Yeah.
it's a little weird about it because Envy ManyVids is offering so many different things. They are
Hmm.
starting to turn into like that one stop shop of you can do cam shows. I guess I don't know if I would want to do a cam show to ManyVids, but like creating content, recording it and selling it, producing it, and all that stuff, and sending it out into the universe. And then you can create Snap like memberships and so forth. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens with that.
Yeah. And like you said, I like the fact that you know, on ManyVids, you like you said, it's a one-stop shop, so you can do your videos. You have your store items where you can pretty much sell anything, anything.
Mm-hmm.
So
Store, you mean like physical stuff, like the like panties and stuff?
panties, I've seen people selling socks. I personally sell like I have a premium Snapchat, so I'll sell access to that in my store. Um, yeah, you can do bundles of videos. I've seen people do so.
Yeah, so that, I guess that's what the membership is and so forth. But yeah, so what we're doing right now, we're basically sitting here on Trump watch, Foster watch.
Hmm.
We are waiting to see if he's going to sign this bill that passed, this bipartisan bill that fucking passed, and we're going to wait and see if he's going to sign it while Congress is in recess,
Hmm.
which is the definition, which I just learned today. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm a fucking expert, but I was reading an article from like Porn Law. There's a guy who helps out with a lot of people in the community on different forums and internet. He has a website called adultbizlaw.com,
Okay.
and he wrote an article, Will Trump Pocket Veto FOSTA? So, again, that's adultbizlaw.com. You can Google that, and then will Trump pocket veto FOSTA? So, what he basically talks about is that because Congress is not in session, this is a weekend, this is Easter weekend, and Trump has not signed it as of yet. So, when he does not sign the FOSTA bill that could penalize and cripple our entire industry, that will send it back to Congress automatically for further review, and they can possibly change the verbiage for that law.
Okay.
And that's the best thing we can hope for
Yeah.
right now. So yeah, let's see what happens. We have also seen this past week that as a result of these new foster laws that have not been acted as of yet, major companies like Microsoft, and we were talking about their companies that sorry, not XBiz, sorry, Xbox and Skype. A lot of people are in fucking frenzy right now, um, because they are banning, what is it, obscene languages.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're looking for alternatives. That's crazy. What do you think about that?
I actually was just talking to my husband last night about it, and he's one of those gamers that I can hear him right now doing it too. He's one of those gamers where the game will piss him off so bad, and he's just cussing and cussing. But what if he has an Xbox? What are they going to do? Ban him because he's getting pissed off at the game? I mean, how ridiculous does that sound?
Maybe that's like, okay, so it sounds pretty ridiculous. So maybe that's one of those things where we are going to need other people, not just sex workers, people who are in the sex worker industry, to like, raise their voices,
Yeah.
because I know gamers spend money.
Oh yeah.
It's that's an expensive habit.
It is.
It's not cheap. So like once you start silencing people who actually put money, which it doesn't mean that sex workers do not, but if you're gonna silence people who are spending money, like $50 and the patches here and the patch there and this equipment, the new like console and all that shit,
Yep.
like you're messing up your money. So maybe if we got more people like your husband, like if they raise hell, and we might have a better chance, because sometimes it takes a little bit more than
Yeah.
people who sex workers in the industry. So like, okay, so we have that, not just playing on Xbox, but it could affect Skype. So people are flipping out, and what I've started to notice, and I'll just put it here, I've started using Discord, because again, I think gamers are an amazing resource.
Yeah.
They tend to have more disposable income. and then some other people. And I started switching over like around August of 2017. And so now we're in this situation where come May 1st, because of Microsoft and their language, that we might be in danger. So yeah, be sure, if you're listening to this, you're a cam model content creator, listen to this. Google things like FOSTA and cam models, FOSTA and Microsoft and Skype and so forth like that. Get aware, become aware of the new changes and see how it affects you and what you can do. I'm not sure what we can do right now. It's like a whole situation where it's like hurry up and wait, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, I'm done rambling. Tell us a little bit more about you, your service, and what brand you want to build and where you guys want to go.
Okay, so me personally, like I stated before, actually started on all BBW cams. Actually, before that, years like 2005, 2006, I was doing the phone sex where they ring your
The
home
phone
phone.
sex.
They ring your home phone if you have a call, and that's where I actually really started. But then I did all BBW cams. I actually took a break in between that, between like 2011 and like 2 years ago almost. When I got back into the industry, it was actually the Snapchat model thing. Someone put me onto that. It was quick money, but Snapchat is dying, especially with the new update.
Was it dying before, or was
It was
it
starting to, I think, but
that
because
new update fucked it
yeah,
up, huh?
it fucked it up so bad. So it for me, I don't even like promoting that I have a Snapchat Premium anymore. It's something maybe I'll offer as a freebie, if I'm doing a sale or something like that. But it's just not worth it anymore. To me, there's no money in it anymore.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? It's crazy because like we all talk about like this social media, like people we're all trying to find out what's next. So
Right.
like I discovered, or a lot of us discovered, like Switter. Is that how
Yeah.
we say it?
Uh,
Switter.
yeah.
It's like the Twitter for sex workers. SWITTER. It's put on the Mastodon platform. It's supposed to be the new Twitter, whatever, for sex workers and so forth. I've been on there in the last couple of days, but I'm not dissing it. I can't praise it. I can't promote it just yet because I'm still learning it, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's something new out there. So for you guys who are listening, there's something new who's on the horizon, and girls are taken to it. Not just girls, but like all genders are taken to it, and it's called Twitter.
Hmm.
It's the Twitter for sex workers. So, um, we'll see what happens with that. As far as having something that was like Snapchat.
Yeah.
You're gonna probably just have to buckle down and just go to a company like ManyVids or I Want Empire and just pay that additional fee. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah, there's no way around that.
Yeah. But I mean, and like I was telling you before, that's exactly why we started BBW Heathens, is because we want something where BBWs and SSBBWs
Hmm.
can sell their clips without being shadowed by the smaller women. And that's exactly what's happening on like ManyVids and clips for sale, or when you like on the front page all you see is smaller women, even though it's on the search, it's like number 3, number 4. I think today it was number 10, but you're still
Yeah,
overshadowed by the smaller women.
it might have been number 10 for that hour, but it might have
Yeah.
been higher. Yeah, that's, I mean, like I said, I don't focus a lot on them, but I do. When I talk to people, I try to like, hey, look, these are different options you have. But that is very strange because I do log in because I logged in earlier. I had unfortunately, I missed out on some money because I had like, yeah, whatever. I mean, the guys like, I'm not saying like, oh, I'm so bummed I can this money, but like I had 2 requests for custom contents and they lowballed me. So but I didn't respond to the emails in enough time, and the money was resent back to them, which is what ManyVids does, which is fine. So if you don't see the request and the guy puts the money forth, it goes right back to them. That happened twice. But they were lowballing me. They were asking me to do like all kinds of weird shit and like, dude, like a fur coat. You want me to have a fur coat? Get out of here.
Oh god.
I have a fur coat. I'm like, even if I was like up in the north, like I'm not gonna have a real fur coat. So,
Right.
but yeah. So then I look at my dashboard and I always notice that BBW is like, boom, it's right there. So I mean, there are people we know who are BBWs who are representing or holding the flag, but they don't always exactly represent the rest of us.
Exactly.
They don't, and I know they don't. They don't, but it's still like nice, and it's always like we have to be polite, and it's like, oh my god, they made it, yay! See the big girl, and you know what I mean. But it's like, nah, that's not a representation of us.
Right.
When you see, so I at some point, I would like to see ManyVids answer, give it a precise answer to why it is that they list, but they could change it. So I'm not saying they should, but be aware that if people keep asking these questions, why is it that top 10 search reflects one thing, but then the top visual side says something different?
Right.
So I mean, at some point they might have to become accountable, but right now they are in very good spot when so many other sites like OnlyFans are pissing the bed. So,
Right. Exactly.
so anyways, we're coming to the end of this podcast.
Okay.
And it's been amazing talking to you, Miss Peaches Galore.
Thank you for having me.
From like BBW Heathens.
Heathen.
Give people some information on how they can reach you online, websites, and so forth.
Okay, so me personally, best way is on Twitter at PeachesGaloreXX. You can also find me pretty much every other day on BBW Heathens on Twitter. That's at BBW Heathens. Also, pretty soon we're going to be having kind of like an event for BBW Heathens. It's called 7 Weeks of Sin. If you want to know more about that, just find us on Twitter and you'll see it somewhere on our timeline. We mention it every day.
That sounds exciting. Okay. I'm so happy. I'm so glad I got to talk to you, and we'll probably be talking to you again. I know you said you had other people who probably want to get on. So,
Yes.
So yeah, this concludes episode 5 of Shit Guys Say to Cam Girls. This is Taja Ethereal, and I've been talking to Peaches Galore, and I hope you have a wonderful night, and I hope everyone else does as well. Happy Easter, by the way.
Happy Easter.
And you have a wonderful night, okay, sweetie?
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.